Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. This is the card of the day for the 18th. I've skipped a couple days of card of the days. I didn't make my bi-weekly YouTube element-based horoscope readings. I'll do them as soon as I can, but I've been sick for a few days, and I just didn't have the energy. So I'm going to do them when I can. They'll be late. Part of the problem is that I've got a project going on my table, and I just didn't have the strength to deal with setting up cards and filming on an alternate table source. But I figured I'd at least do a card of the day today to get some content out and check in with the energies. I've got some weird stuff going on from the new moon that I wasn't expecting. A sort of well, some of it is like being a little bit sick. I think on top of that or behind that is some third eye expansion, but I had like a heart healing happen last night, which was kind of interesting. But anyway, I'm using the morgan-greer to try to get back on my schedule for my videos as soon as I don't feel so awful. I mean, the stuff that's on my table is going to be a video for Patreon when I'm done, but I'm doing a project and I'm kind of waiting on the supplies that I ordered for it to finish, so I'm going to get as much as I can of it done, and hopefully I'll be able to move some of it off of my table so I can get some tarot done. As when I'm already not feeling good, trying to like kneel on the floor and do tarot on my bed, or dig out my masonite drawing board and prop it up on something is just extra strain that I don't really want to put on myself right now. I haven't been able to sleep much either, so I've just been playing a lot of Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. I'm like too tired to focus on anything useful, although it's cramping up my hands. But anyway, I'm just waiting to get a card out. King of Swords. Alright, so we're dealing with 9/18/2020. This is the day that I'm recording this. If this resonates later, that's fine, but 9 is the number of the Hermit. It's half moon. 18 is also 18 is the moon number, breaking down to a 9 again. 9/9/18 feeds back into that moon energy. Now, the Hermit is Virgo energy, which is what we're in right now. And the moon is like we literally just had that new moon yesterday. So the Hermit going within, the moon, the darker, deeper, crustier, secreted kind of information. And then I have 20 and 20. It goes back into, I was going to say judgment, but I keep hearing karma in my head. Karma and karma reducing to the Fool and the High Priestess. So in that way, it's also a mirrored thing. It could be you and somebody else. It could be you and your inner child. It could be you and your higher self. Your dark side, your light side, or whatever. And also because of that 9 and the 18 reducing back into themselves, there's this idea of duality. Something being resolved. The King of Swords is someone who has to be balanced, right? Run an even keel. 1 and a 14. A 1 or a 14, which is a 14 being equal to temperance. So the King of Swords is like justice, but in a way that is more in line with masculine energy, of sort of like mapping. That's what I'm getting, is mapping, like a flow chart, which doesn't really have flow at all. It's just it's for something that's called, that has the word flow in it, a flow chart is actually very linear, but it's like a function program. The code is uncorrupted, right? Virus protection. $2020 breaks down to a 4, which is the emperor number. So we have a lower vibrational emperor here, because we're dealing with something in the air specifically. It's also a foundational number as well, building on a foundation of karmic resolution. Now the King of Swords rules over all 3 air signs, but specifically his personal energy is Capricorn and Aquarius. Now, the King is coming in upright, even though Saturn and Uranus are still retrograde right now. But I feel like the real player here in these energies is with the date of today. Now, notice also that a 1 and a 14 breaks down to 5, which is the number of the Hierophant, which is those like cosmic downloads. It's also a pivot. It's also ruled by is it Taurus? Am I doing that right? Yeah, which is ruled by Venus. Libra, the balance, the energy of justice, is also ruled by Venus. And even though Virgo is ruled by Mercury, that hermit energy from the day to day, from the month, Mercury is in Libra right now. And the message that I've been getting for the last couple weeks is that Virgo is the inner child of the Empress. So there's some kind of, and we see this sort of growth here as well. There's a nurturing and a grounding happening in terms of what the truth is for energies that align in a masculine way, which is to say linear and sort of practical in scope. Right? I'm programming, I'm looking at the data sheets, I'm setting up a process. Right, and again, I'm getting this idea of like I'm uncorrupting the data. So instead of being like, oh, I'm gonna get over my emotional trauma, it's like I am uncorrupting my data. I am, what's it called when you got a computer that's like destroyed and they have to go back and retrieve the information? It's that kind of thing. It's like I'm defragging. I'm scanning the database. Let me just see what's on the bottom of the deck real quick. Of course, it's the High Priestess. More, a higher vibrational swords energy. For me, it goes Queen of Swords, Justice, Two of Swords, Queen of Swords, Justice, and then the High Priestess is sort of the final step of those sort of feminine energies of perception and truth. Now notice that these two together make the Tower. But the Tower reduces to 7, which is the Chariot, which is movement, which is Cancerian energy, which is the moon. High Priestess card ruled by the moon, but for me, usually Pisces. Neptune is currently retrograde. Another planet having to do with consciousness. Okay, so the fact that the High Priestess came out with the King, reducing to 7 again, giving that propulsion to move forward. There is sort of a dialogue trying to happen between the masculine and the feminine. Trying to figure out a plan, trying to pour through the data to figure out what's really going on. And here, more a feminine energy trying to feel and intuit what's going on. Both of them in a place of power, of sort of being in a judgment. And the High Priestess plus the Empress gets to that 5 energy of the Hierophant. So the King needs is the Magician energy to get there. Or the Emperor needs to be the Magician as well to get there. But I feel like it's almost like the feminine energy is like 2 steps ahead. She went to Justice and then into the High Priestess. Where the King of Swords is a little bit behind. But he's... the masculine energy is getting this sort of karmic opening to download the information that he needs to figure out what he's doing. Alright, so I'm just saying he because it's those kind of energies. So I'm going to leave it there. And again, I'm going to try to get back on schedule with the readings that I was going to do as soon as I'm able to. It's getting a little cray around here, but also because I'm working on a video that wasn't scheduled, that requires a lot of work. But it'll result in another product that I'll have for sale, so that should be fine. If you want to get a personal reading, hit me up there, thecatcamebackatcamp@gmail.com. The complete list of readings I offer, how much they cost, is in the description box of my infomercial video, which is linked below this one. If you want to help contribute to my work here, come hang out at Patreon. That's where the video that I'm currently in process of is going to end up. I've got some extra stuff over there, monthly horoscopes, love readings, weekly check-ins, and I'm using my charms over there. If you want to see the charms, you'll have to order them with a reading. And then if you also want to contribute, you can hit that tip jar, paypal.me/CATtheMinion. I also have Cash App and Venmo. Prints and merch on Cafe Press and Deviant Art, coloring books, and a poetry book over here on Amazon. Actual art items in my catalog here. All these links are going to be in that description box of the infomercial, linked below. And if you have any questions or you just want to get all that information without, looking around, you can go ahead and email me again. There we go. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab. Stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.